Find insight, guidance, and answers. Tune into Spirit with radio medium Laura Lee.
Hi, welcome back. Laura Lee tuning into your spirit. I'd like to welcome my special guest today, Miss Esra Ogut. Is that it right?
Hello. Yeah, that's perfect.
Transformational coach and author of Money Does Grow on Trees, the myths we create and live by. Love it. Please,
Thank you.
Please share how this book isn't about becoming wealthy per se, because there's so many books out there about the 9 steps of becoming rich. And that's not what this is about. This is more or less about prosperity consciousness. For our audience, can you share the difference between the two?
Well, wealth is, I think, kind of a focus of like, oh, how can I make more money? How can I have more money in the bank? And prosperity consciousness is about taking that whole concept and instead of looking at it or trying to make it in the outer world, carrying it back into the center and into our own authority. And I have found time and time again with my life, with, the various clients I have worked with way over a decade at this point. Wow, it's unbelievable. That if we can cultivate a sense of feeling rich in the inside, it begins to manifest in the outside. Quite amazing how fast that can happen. So that has been my journey. That's what, we teach. And the book is, although the main theme is about prosperity, it's really kind of digging really deep with certain exercises and stories of what other people have achieved and some sprinkled with my personal stories in there. How we co-create our reality very successfully, whether we end up liking the result or not.
So prosperity does mean on some level living financially well and abundant, as well, among other things. I'm assuming like health as well.
Exactly. Health.
Good relationships, right?
Good relationships.
Okay, so what is one practical tool you can give our audience here about living on the path of prosperity?
Well, one thing I think is very important is to find what's the belief system that's blocking us from creating the prosperity. So a good way to think about it, instead of like being in this mindset of like, oh, I'm trying and it's not happening and I'm working really hard, it's not happening, kind of like feeling like, oh, there's something wrong with us and therefore we can't reach that point. Instead to look at it from the perspective of asking this question: what is my gain in keeping prosperity out of my life? Because if we're not having prosperity in our lives, although we may be claiming we want it, that means there's a part of us that actually doesn't want it.
And you talk about several myths that we have that block it. So what is one that you find is among all of them that is mass consciousness?
There's a couple of those, but it's interesting. There are as different belief systems as there are people out there, depending on how they've arrived at a conclusion about money way early on in their lives. By watching their parents or watching a movie or whatever it might be. So when I say the myths we create and live by, it's like, what myth have we created in the relationship to men, to health, to aging?
And do you think it's always deeply rooted from our family experience, from our upbringing, or society as a whole, or both?
I think it's both, but I think these decisions, I found in my life for many of my decisions, like they always end up going to a very young age, between 1 and 10, I would say. So it's not like, I don't believe that it's like put onto us. I think as extremely powerful beings here in the body, we come here to experience this realm. And out of whatever we're experiencing, we very individualistically make decisions about things. Let's say we had a father who worked so hard, he made a lot of money, but he never had time for us. Well, we may look at that and say, wow, this guy really does everything for his family. Or we may look at it and say, oh, you know what? When you're too busy making money, you don't have love in your life. So I'm not going to choose that. I'm going to go for the love.
I love that. Hold tight. We have more to share with our audience. The book is called Money Does Grow on Trees. Where can people find it, Esra?
Right now it's on pre-sale on Amazon and it's actually getting released September 6th.
Okay. We'll be right back. And if you have need for guidance or insight, give me a call right here on Radio Medium, lauralee.com. Sign up. I look forward to hearing from you.